Hello, everybody. Welcome to a show that is completely unplanned because we don't care because we're bored. This is Jeffrey and John. Jeffrey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm bored.
Doing great.
I even looked back at Discovery Bay to see like, hey, what's the 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock show tonight? And it was like Gem Mint at 6:30 and then nothing.
Yeah, I was looking
like,
for something to watch.
What in the world? A crime.
Hey.
Doom. He's already in the chat. Randy Ray Snake.
That's right.
All right. So here's what's happening. Nothing. YouTube.
Yeah.
After Rod and Jeffrey completed their awesome show, it was just silence in the YouTube comic community. And as awesome as Gem Mint and those guys are, it's just not my cup of tea, and I don't feel like watching it. So I was waiting for somebody to go live, and then Jeffrey was like, "You could go live, you moron." That's how you
I didn't really say it. No, wasn't those exact words.
No, there was a curse word in there somewhere, I think, right?
It was, yeah, similar to that.
So I was like, well, he's like, well, let's go live. And so I thought, I have a tiny little unboxing to do, but mostly it's just chilling with John and Jeffrey. So if anybody wants to join in, if we're just hit me up on Instagram, I'll try to check it from time to time. Jeffrey, how's your day going? You were working today, right?
Yes, I was, and I'm glad to not be working right now. That's for sure, man. It was long. It's been a long week. I'm pretty burnt out, honestly. I'm just kind of ready to relax and enjoy my day off tomorrow.
And I will say, you've also been getting some crazy gifts lately.
It doesn't stop, man. It's crazy. Love you guys.
I spelled Jeffrey A-O-K.
It's better than what I thought you were gonna say. Oh man.
No, it's been, dude, that if you guys haven't seen the Tony Sanders What's Your Grail with Jeffrey and I, that was an amazing giveaway. That was way unbelievably kind.
Tony is a great dude, man. I love that guy. He's one of my best friends, and he always goes above and beyond for me, dude. It's crazy.
Looks like there's some other cool people in the chat now. Old Wolf jumped in. Bake the Snake, hello, brother. Discovery Bay, Comic Head 84. And if you guys want to jump in here, you just hit me up on Instagram. JP's Budget Collecting. Discovery Bay, his girls loved Captain Marvel. And I went with my wife, our girls, and a student I taught last year, and her mom, who's a teacher, so we're friends. And everybody gave it thumbs up in our group. No haters in our group. Definitely a lot of love going in there.
Yeah, Old Wolf 65, thanks for stopping by. Absolutely, Bake. That was insane what Tony Sanders did for me, dude.
Way cool. And did you notice Big Will snagged a 102 as well? So now you guys
saw that. I'm happy for Big Will, man. Like, dude, like I sent something in the mail to Big Will, I think yesterday or the day before. So I'm hoping he enjoys that.
Heck yeah. All right, so here's what's going on. The backstory is, yes, who said it? Somebody said, I thought you were done with all these videos on, what was it?
JP said, more Max Pro stuff. John, I thought they sponsored Bueller.
Right? That's the joke, right? They do not sponsor me at all, right? I had to buy stuff. They should. I guess they should. I went and I bought some stuff from them because I needed some new gear. I liked the price. I liked the product from what I could tell online, and I ordered it. And then I kind of shared my epic reorganizing over several hours of video that you do not need to watch because I don't know why I made those videos. But you're welcome to check it out. And I mentioned, and I started kind of a conversation with Brian, who kind of is the manager, or he's not the owner, but he's like the head honcho there at the warehouse. And he's a former comic collector. He has owned a few different shops in his LCSs in his life. And so we started some emailing back and forth. They sent me a replacement for some items that were missing. And then they sent me this crazy amount of extra stuff with it. And I was like, that's way too kind. That was very nice of them. And then I started talking about how I'm going to probably end up buying some bags and boards from them here soon. And then they sent me this AOK today.
I'm gonna tell you, I was just before we started, I actually went on their website and was checking out their prices. I gotta say they do have decent prices. Like I still do get a better price at my LCS than I do, but based on the prices on their website. But I have seen, compared to some other prices I have seen, they are priced very well.
Thanks for the compliments on the shirt. My brother has the one that's the Millennium Falcon. It's the same kind of design, and I do like that as well. And there is no John's Comics with Kids 10.1% discount collectible paper. Very funny. And so what I checked was this: my LCS for $12 or $13, somewhere in that range, I get 100 bags and boards that are the basic poly bags, right? The ones that I use. And
hey, Carlito.
And I got some here, and I measured them just because I was curious what the deal is. They are 6 inches and 7/8 wide. And that was the kind of bag and board I basically used for my entire collection. But then the Great Legend and a few other people shouted out the Max Lights. And that's what they just sent me today. This AOK they sent was a set of 100 of the Max Light bags. These are they have them in different sizes. The Golden Age size is a little wider, Silver Age slightly less wide, and then the current size is, if you can see right there, it's kind of bright. Right. It says 6 7/8 is the width of the bag, and the bag is very clear. It doesn't sort of ripple. Did you have some of the same?
I was just gonna say, I get at my LCS, I get one of these BCW boxes. I get the BCW comic book resealable comic book bags for the current ones. 100 of these, and I get 100 of the backers for them for $17 out the door. No tax on those. And
I remember you saying that it comes with the box.
Yeah, and I was doing the comparative math for the exact same thing on Max Pro. It was going to be like a little over $19. But I don't know tax and shipping. And
there's going to be shipping, which is the thing for Max Pro. To get free shipping with Max Pro, you got to get over $100 spent, right? And if you wanted to buy your bags and boards in bulk, you would probably get a pretty reasonable deal because it cuts down on the price, because they go, I think if you buy 10 sets, the price comes down by like 10 or 11%. Plus you get free shipping. Plus you type in that Bueller code, you get another 10% off. But again, you got to get over $100. And I don't know how often for bags and boards I'm going to do that.
And I can't do that. Like I buy that for $17 when I need it, which is like once a month. I'm usually buying a new box and new bags and boards, so that's about all I can do at this point.
So for me, what I ended up doing was saying I'm going to try out these Max Lights at some point, because I hear they're a stronger, sort of better bag than your basic poly bag. Well, Brian sent me a set of the bags, and they're really nice. The problem is they are 6 7/8, and so is the exact size of my boards that I buy, which means the boards don't fit. My boards are the exact same size. You want a board that's obviously going to be a slightly smaller, or so it'll slide in. Right. And Bueller and I were having a discussion, because a lot of people have complained the only problem they have with the Max Lights is that the bag is very snug. And I know that there's some issue with production sometimes, where the end of the roll, as they're cutting it and making it, might be slightly thinner than the beginning of the roll, just because of the nature of the design. But I think also sometimes the problem is, if your shop is like my LCS, they only have one kind of bag and one kind of board. They're not into all the varieties. My LCS is very low maintenance on that stuff. So
I gotta be very basic.
Sorry, what?
They're pretty big. I was gonna say my LCS is a pretty big store, and luckily they carry just about everything that you need. So I mean, I don't buy what I showed you is all I ever need to buy. But if I ever need anything else, they do have it. And I think that's the thing with a lot of comic book shops, is they are smaller. So if you're like take like Chad 90 MF, he's 90 miles from a comic book shop. So like ordering online is probably a good thing for people like that. And I know Mr. Garrell, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but Mr. Garrell is about an hour away from any comic book shop too. So for people that are quite a ways away from a comic book shop, online is probably a really good way to go.
Yeah, and I think so. So for me, the issue is having the
Reggie.
Who's that, JD?
Reggie.
Reggie Collects is in here, brother. You've been doing some awesome videos. I really appreciate what you've been doing over there, Reggie.
Absolutely. Love you, Reggie.
So for my issue, the problem I have is I can't get the boards that fit the bags unless I buy them elsewhere. My comic shop just doesn't carry the smaller board. The board they recommend for this would be one that's 6 3/4. So we're really just talking about 1/8 of an inch. I might even take some of my boards and just cut them so that they're 1/8 of an inch smaller. But what I decided for now, because I want to have a set of these bags, I like the bags, they're thick enough. I just went on today and I ordered a few boards to go with the bags I've got here. Just so that I have a set of these, because I think for my really nice books, those Grail books, the higher end books, the ones you really want in extra protection, I think that's going to be what I go for. So
always use protection.
Yeah. I mean, it's the difference. I love this book. Double bag. Don't double bag, Jeffrey. Bueller and I had plenty of jokes about how that my bags and my boards are 1/8 of an inch longer than his or wider than his. Like, I love this book. It's part of those X-Men runs that I really, really love, but it doesn't need extra protection like something maybe like this, right? Which is a comic that's got a little more value and is quite popular, and I want to maybe protect it a little bit more. So things like that, I'm going to be sort of going using these bags and boards for that purpose. I need to get Mylars, says Carlito. Yeah, and so for me, if I have like, hey, JP's here, brother. How you doing?
Hey, John.
Good
to see you. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys?
Jeffrey, have you guys met up before, Jason P and Jeffrey?
We haven't worked together, but I know JP for sure.
Yeah, in chats. We haven't done the video thing yet. So
if you guys don't know Jason P or JP as he goes, JP Budget Collecting, he does a really great weekly series.
Awesome. I like that show.
Every single Saturday, early in the morning, right after my show ends, Jason drops his video, and it's a 6 months back. He goes and looks at, hey, 6 months ago, this was the hot 10 list from CBSI. And then he's got all the great stats, all the breakdown information to look at. Have those books held their value, or have those books gone up or down? And what you generally see, and I don't want to speak for Jason, maybe he can expound on it here a second, but what I feel like I generally glean from his videos is the newer the book or the hotter the cover of the book, the less likely it will have that value in 6 months versus a book with more long history to it or more significance beyond a hot cover or what have you. That book will have more value. Jason, does that sound like what?
Yeah, I think that's generally the case. It's what I've seen. You guys hit me, or am I coming through? Can you guys hear me?
I can totally hear you.
Okay. So yeah, everything I've seen has been that, yeah, the newer the book, the less likely it is to like actually have held the value. And even like with some of the older books, it seems to be if they hit that list, they do a good job of actually finding books that are spiking. And if they're on the list, a lot of books just settle at a lower price, even if they maintain value.
Hey, Jason, would you type a little message into the chat? Because some people want to sub you up and they want to make sure they can find your channel.
Yeah.
Including Reggie himself, Reggie Simmons there.
Reggie.
So yeah. Oh, here, let me, I'm going to put my JD hat on just so I can cut down.
I got one of those too, man.
So yeah, sitting this, my light is like directly over my head, and the bald head just make people go blind. So we'll rock the JD hat.
So if you haven't subbed up Jason, JP's got some really great video and content. And again, check out his channel, just see what he's doing. And you might really find something that speaks to you like it does to me and obviously to Jeffrey as well. So thanks for joining us, man. What kind of bags and boards do you find you're using? Obviously, Jason, you and I have talked a lot about budget collecting collecting on a budget so that you're not able to afford maybe everything in a My Light and everything with a double board and all these things. What do you do?
I just showed mine. I'm obviously a BCW guy, so
right. So
I have been strictly that, you know, basic polybag and board, one bag for each comic my entire life until today.
Yeah. So I actually over the last year, when I got back into collecting last spring, replaced all the bags and boards for my books that I had from like the 90s and early 2000s. So, but I tried a couple of different things. I actually like did some BCW ones, I think, and then I did some Ultra Pro with the little tabs, the stick on the back, the resealable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I tried some of those, and then actually my last order was I ordered before Bueller had his discount. I ordered 300 from Max Pro just to give them a try of just their regular bags and boards, not the Max Lights,
not the resealable kind.
They didn't have resealable when they were out at the time I ordered of the resealable, so I just did the regular ones, and I was pretty happy with those. I will say that I probably should have ordered the modern instead of the current, because for my 90s books, they're a little narrow. Like the board is a little narrow. Like they fit in the bag good, but the board is just almost exactly the same size as the book. So there's not much protection beyond the edge. But otherwise, I was pretty happy with them. So.
Yeah, and again, I like the quality of the bag a lot, but for me, it's just the size of the board that goes with it. Like you're saying, my books won't fit, and it'll either warp the bag or warp the book. And I just want to make sure that I get a board that's the correct size, because it's just not. I've not had a lot of options up to now.
And then for my nicer stuff, I did buy some. What is it? The Gerber ones, the My Lights, and with like the halfbacks that I've done for like my nicer books. Although I think most people said after I did that, everybody was like, "Oh, you should do a full back." But
I've never really gone to the lengths of looking at different size backing boards. I've pretty much always used the basic poly bag and the basic board I bought. I haven't gone far enough, although I have had people talk to me about double boards and things like that to make it a little thicker. Like I saw Reggie did a video on bagging and boarding books, and there's definitely a lot of theories and thoughts on all these things.
And I really figured that I was probably good with the half backs, because almost all my nicer. So like almost everything that I have that's nicer, I have in a top loader as well.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I have a handful of top loaders that are for anything.
I have 5.
You have 5 yourself, Jeff?
Yeah.
So for anything that's of a significant value, I definitely try to use those top loaders. And I wanted to correct a bit of misinformation that I have, because again, because I've been so, what do they call it? A basic,
bonehead.
TCH. I am a basic girl, and because I've been basic for so long, like I'm just learning about all these different options. Over the last year, I've been kind of just learning. For me, like I got some of these thicker boards from Max Pro, and I thought it was just for bigger books, but they're saying that they emailed me later in the week and they were like, yeah, they're for bigger books, but they're also for if a book is really valuable and you want to protect it, this is one of those thicker boards that just gives it a little more sturdy backing. So there are a few books that I have that are normal size books that I might start giving these thicker boards to as well, because I have 100 of them, and I definitely don't have 100 giant size books,
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you like the thicker ones?
I think it really pops. I mean, my experience with them so far is I feel like the books are really snug when they're inside of those. And I'm trying to find one in here right now. Oh, there. Here, let me grab one. Where'd it go?
Like, what kind of a book would you use that thick one on?
Well, what I did. Oh shoot! Now I gotta dig around in here. Oh, there we go. So I started with just any books that I have that were thicker, like bigger books. And I did all, like Rod had just sent me a really nice AOK of those Walmart books, right?
Right.
And those are those big 100-page specials, 80-page specials or whatever that just are a bigger book.
Yeah, I have some of the Target ones, none of the Walmart, but it's the same exact thing.
Those extra thick bags or like sturdier bags and those extra thick boards are just, I mean, the books are absolutely snug in there. Now, like you're saying, JP, that the board doesn't have a lot of space around the border. So the difference between like, what is it? I got this guy, right? Where there's look at all the room, right?
Yeah.
So that if this book slams into anything, right, it's not going to be damaged because there's room versus this guy, right? I used a thicker backing board. I used the thicker bag, and this is snug. I mean, there's no wrinkle. There's no nothing. It's just smooth. You don't get any of that sound, right? The polybag rustle where it's like rippling a little bit. You don't get any of that with this thicker bag and board. But what you do lack is that impact border around the outside, which is why, of course, a book like this is in the top loader as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, and it still fits the thicker board and everything. The big book, it still fits nicely in the top loader without any issue at all.
I know that there are different sized top loaders also. So I mean, you could it was ever like a book didn't fit in there with that backer, you could always get a different size.
I have one of those myself, a slightly larger top loader that's a little bit wider. My only drawback with that one is it doesn't fit in any of my boxes.
Yeah, no, I have a few of those too. I've got a couple of top loaders that'll fit perfectly inside of a box. I've got a couple of top loaders that are too tall for the box. I got a couple of top loaders that are too wide for a box. So I mean, there's several different sizes out there. You just got to figure out which one's right.
Yeah, so like it's nice to have that extra wide backing board, but I have no box that will currently fit this guy. So unless I start putting them in sideways, and I've done that with my slabs, they're laying down sideways in a box. Like this. So I've just got them kind of laying in there with, they're in their plastic bags and whatever, but I only have 8 of them or whatever. So it's not like I have like a whole box full of them. At some point I'll need to get a plastic bin just for slabs, which would then be wide enough, I think, to hold some of these books that have the wider backing boards on them. That's just, right. I only have this because it came in this when I purchased it, That's
how I got all my top loaders. They're all gifts.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I either bought a book that came in one or somebody gifted me one. Yeah, exactly. I only have a handful of them, but I've always rotated my best books into them and taken whatever was in it.
No, that's exactly how I do it because I've really only got like 5 books that are worthy of being in one anyway. So. Well,
yeah, and every once in a while I get one, and I'm like, the book in there is maybe a $40 book, but yeah, I've got that. So I bought this, and it wasn't in any top loader, but it's like, now you're definitely going in a top loader. You're not going to just float around willy-nilly in that box.
Now, did Max Pro do they have top loaders or not? I didn't see those when I looked.
I didn't see those either.
Yeah, they do.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that I'm looking to get a couple more of those. I am in love with these UV protected frames. Just super cool way to hang your books and decorate your room. This is a UV protected plastic, and so, the book, it clicks into the case, and then it's got a little hook space on the back. You can hang them. So I'm going to probably get a couple more of these at some point just to hang them.
So I remember you said those didn't, like, you had to take it out of the bag and board.
Yes, it's not in its bag and board in here.
So do you feel like there's any danger when you go to put it in there doing that?
I was very careful sliding it out the bag and the board and laying it in here. But the only one this is a $5 book. I'm not terribly worried. I did put Uncanny 94 in one.
I saw that.
It's right there. And I'm a little more cautious about that one. And it's probably not going to live in there. It's probably on its way out. Like, I'm ready to replace it with something that I'm not as concerned with. But I was just testing it out, and now I'm worried. I don't want to take it out right now. But I'm a little worried about it living in there for very long, for sure. But I also like the idea of being able to change the background, redecorate every so often and then put up new stuff. Hello, Bueller. We're talking about your sponsor here, Bueller. Just
maybe they don't. I could have swore
used to be your sponsor.
Yeah, it's not my sponsor. It's his sponsor, but I'm always talking about it, and he's always jumping in with me.
So I could have swore I saw top loaders, but maybe not.
I don't know what it is. Brian and I have a similar taste in comics. The guy who runs their shop, and he's sent me 3 comics with this box. He sent me 3 last time, and I was like, dude, stop sending me comics. I just want supplies. Like I'm willing to pay for the supplies. Like you don't have to do that. And he did it again. So he didn't listen.
A supply Santa, I tell you what.
He legit, yeah, it's definitely a supply Santa. Let's see. He sent it with the extra backing board. I got a few of these extra wide backing boards. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I need some back. Okay, so there's 3 comics in here. But he and I have been exchanging emails and joking about how we got started collecting and all that stuff. I don't know what you're doing, Bueller. I thought you were out with your son or something tonight. But if you want to jump in, you just let me know. So I got 3 books here. Let's see what we got. Avengers, issue 164. I don't know anything about this issue, but that's classic. Look at that cover. That's awesome. Sorry. That's a really nice book here. 164. Is that the tornado? Is it the Lethal Legion is back? Let's see, the Avengers are finished. Oh. I love this version of the Vision, the classic 80s version of the Vision.
That's a cool cover. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Might have not either. Big Lion Cat, good to have you in here, sir. Biggie Shack, how you doing? Bueller's running with he's running wild. Yeah, he's with his son, I thought, tonight.
I'll tell you, you know what I really do need to get that would be cool? I feel like would be good for anybody, a collector, is those dividers. So you can divide your comic books. I know I don't have any, and that's something that I've been looking into getting.
Me too. I have never bought the dividers, and I desperately need them. I use basically construction paper that I've cut into pieces that I stick in there that just sticks up barely.
I did the same thing with some cardboard, but then they started just taking up too much space, so I pulled them out. But yeah, like those, John.
They sell a few different kind of dividers, and I'm used to the basic white. They sent me some of the green ones. The green ones are perfect in their boxes. They are just the right size, but I'll say that the green ones are too tall for the older boxes that I have. And that means that when I put the lid on, they bow.
Oh, that's no good.
Which is going to bow all the comics around it, right? Yeah. So I've made sure that those green ones, which are cool, you can add writing onto the green ones. They got a little space, but they only work in the Max Pro boxes. So I just made sure that those are in Max Pro boxes, and it wasn't an issue. But I noticed it right away in the other boxes, so just be careful of that. Because mine other ones are just apparently shallow, deep, and wide versus these other ones. Oops, sorry. They sent me, I've seen this one. Superman in Action Comics issue 662.
Oh, yeah.
Lois finds out. The drama. That's a great cover.
Okay, yeah. So I found the top loaders. Okay, they do have them.
Do you know how to do a screen share so you can see your screen?
No, but I can paste and go in the chat, and you can.
If you're looking at the Google Hangouts page on the left side, you'll see a green TV screen. Do you see it?
Okay. Yeah.
It says screen share. You just click on it, and then you click on the screen you want to show us.
Right. I don't know what I'm doing. No.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. You don't have to. But if they have them, that's good. People can know.
Yeah. 25 counts like $100.
25 top loaders for $100?
Yeah.
So what is that? $4 a top loader. That's not bad. And hey, if you want to get you get free shipping. You got your 25 top loaders right there, and you throw in whatever else you want. Free shipping. So that was the second book.
140 or something like that. I see.
And then the third book is it's a Hulk book, Jeffrey.
What?
And I think I've seen something about this book lately. Issue 400 of the Incredible Hulk. The 400th issue special. There's something going on with this book. Somebody in the chat remind me what it is.
Is there? I know that 418, which is the wedding one, is that first appearance of Talos.
Yes,
Is
I
that
could
the
have
one you
sworn
might
there was
be
something
mixing?
going on with this book recently, and I just, for my life of me, I just cannot remember right now. But my brain's not all there. All right. Let's see. I sent an invite to KomiKhead84. Let's see if he ends up jumping in here. That is a really cool shiny cover, though. There's a Bueller shiny cover for you, right? You got the iridescent shininess.
Yeah. Bueller cover.
Yeah, right? I told Bueller if he just fills a box with shiny covers, I think we would all just buy it every time. Everybody needs a Bueller box with shiny books. All right. Okay. So now, Jason, did you get a chance to go see Captain Marvel yet?
I did. I went and saw it Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, you were one of the earlier ones. You got to see it early. You went early.
Well, like, luckily, my town is so small that, like, nobody, like, it's easy to get in on Thursday night. I literally just walked up and had a seat. So.
Well, at my theater, they're asking you to buy and pick your seats.
Well, yeah, you have to pick your seat, but you can still do it, like, you can do it online beforehand, but you don't need to. You can just.
But the worry is if you, I always feel like if you don't go and buy it early online, then you're stuck maybe with an aisle edge. Maybe you're off to the side.
No, you're not. Not in Clinton.
So with us needing whatever 6 seats, we were like, okay, let's buy.
Oh yeah, that could be a problem.
Get our 6. The kids can all crowd in the middle and whatever.
What's going on last night? So I went Thursday and it was good. I would put it solidly in that middle group of Marvel movies, where a lot of the origin stories go.
It's kind of what I've heard from pretty much everybody. I haven't seen it, but everybody I talked to says it's not bad. It's not great. It's probably right about in the middle of the MCU movies. So
yeah, that would be my assessment. It's not in that top tier of the first Avengers or the first Guardians or Winter Soldier or Black Panther. It's not in that tier, but it's definitely in that kind of middle tier of definitely better than some of the bottom tier movies of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I definitely would say way better than the bottom tier of Iron Man 2, Thor 2, like way.
Don't even say
those are movies flat bad. And you know how many DVDs I have. I don't own those.
Yeah, I own almost all of them. There's a couple I don't, but
I will definitely own Captain Marvel. So if that's a vote of confidence,
like it.
I enjoyed it a lot, and there were some big laughs for me. When I definitely laughed, and I really think Sam Jackson cut loose in this one and was given more to do, and I really enjoyed what he was doing in the movie.
He was really good, and then I thought Ben Mendelsohn as Talos was really, really good. To me, my favorite part of the movie.
That's definitely fair. I'm sorry, I'm sending a quick invite here.
Oh, you're good.
A few folks wanting to jump in.
Yeah, but I definitely I really enjoyed it. I had concerns about her because pulling it off, but I thought she did fine. I thought it was good. So
I'll say my only concern with her was that, how is she in a big budget green screen kind of a movie?
Yeah.
She is an amazing actor. And if you've seen Room or you've seen, what is it? The one when she's with the school, the inner city kids, like Term 12, I think, something like that.
Dangerous Minds.
Well, she's not in Dangerous Minds, but there's
Fiverr.
And then she was in a few different movies that I've seen where she's just really great, and I had no doubt of her as a performer. But it's a different kind of acting when you're doing that giant green screen thing.
Yeah.
Bueller.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, it's Bueller.
There he is. I thought you were with your son tonight, Bueller.
He's working tonight.
Okay.
He's working. I gotta go pick him up here in a couple hours. So, yeah.
Nice.
Been kind of taking it easy today, actually.
When are you leaving? I thought you were already on the road.
I don't leave till Tuesday night.
Oh, okay.
So Tuesday night I'm heading out, and I don't know if I'm ever coming back.
Hey, that's how I feel every day.
What are you talking about?
Hey, John, I just want to tell you thank you for the guilt.
You got like 7 of them.
There's 1. There's 2. There's 3.
Oh my goodness.
There's 4. So I want to say thank you, John. You did exactly what I wanted you to do.
You was never going to need another one.
That's right.
Oh man!
But I'll tell you, like last night, you know, I did that little auction thing or whatnot on my channel, and I gave away 2 custom Bueller boxes. This is what the custom Bueller box looks like.
It's obvious.
No, the books that they're getting are inside this. So
And then you're wrapping that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, nice.
So I don't know. I figure since they gave me some, and then John's probably going to show something else that they're going to feel guilty about not giving me. So no, but they hooked me up. Yet when did I go? I went there on was it Thursday? It was either Thursday or Friday. I went up there and they gave me cases of stuff.
Let's fill your car.
That's pretty much what it was. It was like, here's a case of this, here's a case of that, here's a case of this. And because I told them I was going on the road trip and I wanted whoever I stop by and see, I want to give them something, So like, here, take it, So I got like a whole box of there's a whole box of the Max Light bags and stuff, and just another
hooking people up.
Yeah, just a ton of stuff.
Here's Kenny. Hello, Kenny. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Kenny.
How we doing, guys?
But yeah, a lot of stuff to give away. Some stuff I've been literally just bagging and boarding.
Is this kind of like, here's what I imagine it. Bueller crashes at somebody's house and he's gone first thing in the morning, but on the pillow is like a Max Light.
like the Tooth Fairy.
Max Light Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he leaves it maybe leaves it on the dresser or something.
At least I leave him something before I go.
Yes.
I have a Bueller box coming to me soon.
So do I. We got the last 2 of the last round.
No, John, I canceled your order, buddy. I told you I wasn't good.
That's only because I make you do media mail for mine.
Yeah, your Bueller box comes straight from Max Pro Supplies.
Yeah, legit did. It has every time. Brian's sending me comics every time. Do you see this? Look, I even got a shiny cover.
Oh, nice, man. That's cool. They had mentioned something about. I'm not kidding, and I don't know if I want to do this. Like putting the Bueller box on their website.
There you go.
And I'm like, that means I got to make a lot of boxes.
I was gonna say, maybe you wait until you're ready to up the price a little bit and have.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a lot of work on my end. So I don't know about
You got to
that.
tell Sam he's got to start working again.
Yeah, he's coming over tomorrow, so I'm putting him to work.
Yes.
I feel like Sam is to you as Ryan is to Tom. Just put him to work. Just bring him over and put him to work.
This is really funny, and I hope nobody goes and finds this. But like Ryan was Ryan was on this channel the other night, like late at night. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Playing video games. And literally the only people in the chat were me, Tom, and Sam. And we're just sitting there like for like an hour, just telling Ryan to sing us a song, and just giving them a hard time. But
if you go back to his older video game runs, sometimes it's just me in there.
Yeah.
For an hour. For Kate's birthday party, she wanted bacon sandwiches for every guest. So I was cooking bacon for like 4 hours, and he was playing video games for 2 of those, and I was just watching him play video games while I'm cooking bacon. Like it was a ridiculous thing.
Yeah, it's a good time. We had a lot of fun. But I'm looking forward to having Sam come over tomorrow because I literally bought about 400 comics like 2 days ago. And that's why they gave me cases of bags of boards, because I got a bag and board all those things this week. Before I go.
Now, Kenny, you said you had a special unboxing you wanted to do.
I do have a little something. If my buddy Dre Van Doom is still in the chat. Dre Van Doom.
Yeah, shout out Dre if you're still in there. I saw him a little bit ago.
Yeah. He's on Instagram as Book Movers.
Yeah.
Book Movers. And he's got cool stuff. It's like it's really affordable books too. He doesn't ask anything nuts. Book Mover 609. Give him a little heads up. But he sent me this box inside of a bigger box. It was like one of those little Russian doll situations. Let me just give him a heads up.
I just sent him a message on Instagram. We'll see if he hears it.
John knows a lot about Russian dolls.
Yeah.
All right.
Boom.
Don't get me in trouble, brother.
How do you make Russian doll dirty? I thought it was a toy.
It is.
He's not on his own channel. He makes anything dirty.
Yeah, that's a very special.
My channel is very kid friendly, but when I'm not on my channel, I take some liberties.
Right. He's in there. Dre Von Doom's in here.
There he is.
Yeah, there's my boy. Dude, his communication is like off the charts, man. Whenever I hit him up, he's like right on it. Like, what's up, man? I think he said he's gonna like throw in an extra book for me, all that good stuff. He's got lots of books, packaged well. I always love the big bubble wrap. Got the big boy bubble wrap inside of the bag with more bubble wrap. Look at you. This could have went either way because I've never opened one of his packages before. So luckily it didn't show up in like a cereal box or anything.
He would never do that.
At least it didn't explode.
So yeah, his did you give out his Instagram? It's Book Movers 609.
Yes.
609. I'll have to check him out.
He's always listing books, for real low prices, $2-3 books. He's so you can check in with him for books. You might find something you like.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, perfect like JP when I know you like to give a lot of tips on like budget collecting. I think Instagram's a solid resource for budget collectors, man, because they're not adding on those eBay fees they have to account for. You're dealing with a live person you can have like a little dialogue with.
Yeah, and that's how you get good trading too. I think I've seen a lot of people make great trading deals on Instagram because they have the chance to say, hey, I've got this book. I see you've got these 3 books. Would you be willing to make this deal? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm still a noob to Instagram. I'm still trying to figure that out. I never even went on Instagram until basically you guys when I started to make a channel and I realized it was pretty much absolutely necessary. So
yeah, I think if you figured out Google Hangouts, you'll be fine. This is the one that always trips people up. Instagram, you're good.
John showed me how to do this, so otherwise I would not have.
Well, Bueller showed me how to do this, so then it's just pay it forward. That's all.
Wow, look at these. So I've never even seen these. These are like little packaged, like mini comics that he just kind of threw in. I hope my lighting's not too bad.
No, it's good. I can see it. I put the camera on you, so you're all good.
Okay.
Those are
cool.
And
that's awesome too, because he says, hey, by the way, I made my order. And he said, hey, what characters you like? And hence my contest. My big 3, Silver Surfer, X-Men, Batman. So boom, he catered these to my tastes.
And I will say one of the tricks for that, if you are an Instagram comic book person and you're trying to, figure out what books does so-and-so love, if you're trying to do a little A-OK or whatever, almost all of us participated in December in that 6 favorite Marvels, 6 favorite DCs, 6 favorite independent characters. So if you just scroll back through some people's feeds, you go back into December somewhere, you can just find everybody's favorite characters right there.
Yeah, that's a good call. That is a good call.
You want to be sneaky about
it. You're always
reminded me of the price that I paid on little Post-it notes. So, like I said, there's, I just saw some cool books that I wanted to add to the collection for short money. I'm not going to show you guys any keys, but let's see. Some great Batman stuff. So I think this one is a first appearance of.
I think I have that book. Yeah, it is. It's the
Stephanie Brown.
What's her name? Yeah. I have that. It's a great book.
Spoiler, right?
Spoiler. That's right. I've always liked the spoiler. Like her costume design is really cool. I haven't seen her in a while.
She was in Detective up until just recently.
Oh,
They had her as part of the Detective run.
Is she still spoiler? Or did she? I think she took
Well,
on
she's
spoiler.
back to being spoiler after they'd upgraded her after the reboot on Rebirth. She went back to being spoiler.
Oh, I dig that. Oh, nice. I have to catch up on that. So this one I grabbed for just what a tremendous cover of not the original Batman Adventures run, but when they rebooted it, they had this Batman and Robin Adventures, and I just loved that. Ra's and Talia al Ghul with a little Grim Reaper action. Cool, simple white. I love simple white backgrounds. Bang. This one I think he threw in as a bonus. He threw in a little Batman 500 for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, classic 90s action, you know. Azrael over Bane. Oh yeah, I forgot. I almost forgot what I ordered. I just got a bunch.
Some of those books are right in and around that spoiler first appearance too, right?
Yeah, yep. They're all pretty much right around that run where they were putting out really cool covers in the Batman 9. I really love that one. Cool Huntress action shot there. Boom. A little more Detective Comics goodness. Batman and Robin.
Is some of that Chuck Dixon? I want to say some of that was Chuck Dixon.
Yes, this is some Chuck Dixon was in this run.
Every once in a while I get one right.
Yeah, you're on it. This is always a favorite cover too.
I don't know if Bueller's talking. He's got his microphone muted, so he's like, I think he's trying to throw jokes in, but he's muted.
No, I'm not.
He's trying to
I just see your mouth. I just see you doing this, like a little fish.
I'm just messing with you.
Boom, love that cover.
That's a great one.
Really solid cover.
Good covers during that stretch. Who did the covers for those?
John's mom.
Wagner. It looks like his last name's Wagner, but I'm not familiar with him.
Those are cool. I hadn't seen some of those.
Yeah.
That was back when I was reading everything on the spinner rack and then putting it back.
My mom doesn't do DC, Jeffrey.
Oh, my bad.
This one, I will admit, I had it as a kid, so I said, yeah, throw this one in there. But I'm personally not the biggest Sam Keith fan, the Max artist.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
It's an acquired taste.
But no, I think it's the same with like a lot of those guys. There's definitely some Liefeld. I know that the cover Bueller keeps showing that he did last week for the Justice League is atrocious.
Yeah,
I love it.
I look at some of his New Mutant stuff and his early X-Force stuff. It just speaks to me. Like I love that stuff. That's my childhood, straight up.
The Justice League cover is just painful. I went into the shop.
Oh, sorry. Let me click to Bueller here so you can see that cover. There it is.
Who would do that for Wonder Woman?
Who can make Wonder Woman ugly? And apparently,
I've never really seen that one. Hold on, let me see it.
It's amazing.
And look how weird Superman looks. He looks like he's got a giant diaper.
Well, look at Batman. Batman
is, they're all terrible.
Superman's about to teabag somebody.
I mean, that's right up there. That's right up there with the Captain America Liefeld cover.
Man, I honestly think that Superman cover is better than the Justice League one. Or the Justice League one is so bad.
Oh yeah, yes.
I mean, they're so bad they're good. That's the thing. No, they're it's classic. You know, it's like the Toxic Avenger movies. They're so bad, although you got to watch them. You know,
yeah.
This is Toxic Avenger comic book covers. The Troll 2, the Troll
Toxic
2,
Liefeld.
Troll 2 of comic book covers. That's what that is. You know,
I think he's got to be trolling us with those.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he's got to be. I mean, he's not that bad. He's not a great artist, but he's not that bad.
No. Sorry, Kenny, was there more to that box? I didn't want to cut you short if you're still.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, I like a little tangent into the world of Rob Liefeld. You know what's the interesting thing with him is like, and he pretty much says he never had any formal training.
Yeah.
Right? He's like a self-taught artist. And the thing that speaks to me about Liefeld is like, I think once he got popular, he stopped trying to elevate his craft. Like he doesn't have a firm handle on anatomy.
Sure.
You know? And I think he just, once he started making money, he was like, all right, man.
This is just my
I
style.
don't need to.
Yeah.
I will say again, I'm obviously always singing the praises of White Whale Comics, but his artist breakdown on Liefeld was excellent and gave me another layer of appreciation for him. And also he did a great job of throwing in a bunch of books that you think were Liefeld, but that you realize were McFarlane or somebody else, and you're realizing, wow, a lot of the things that I think I hate about Liefeld. Sorry, it's on you still. A lot of the things I think I might hate about Liefeld, a lot of artists do. And everybody has those atrocious moments where you're like looking at that cover and you're going, wow. Like there's plenty of McFarlane books I look at and I'm like, what is going on?
Pretty much any McFarlane Hulk cover is.
That is the worst Hulk.
It is, and I'm probably one of the biggest. I'm one of the biggest Hulk fans there is, and yeah, they're crap.
Yeah, those are even worse than the Happy Hulk you had that they showed today.
Yeah.
Last two. So Sam Keith, I think the quirkiness of Sam Keith is what prompted hit or miss artists, which he's in that club for sure. And the last one, which was really like one of my favorites from the lot. I've never seen this cover before. One of my favorite Batman villains, the ventriloquist in Scarface. And he has there's a little Batman also as a Scarface puppet, kind of head to head.
I saw that.
So I got a real kick out of that. I've never seen that one. I think this is the book that made me pause and start fishing around on what he had. I really like this one.
I think it's funny that, I mean, obviously there's a lot of comment about Batman and Spider-Man having these amazing rogue galleries, but they also have some of the absolutely most messed up, ridiculous villains at the same time. Yeah. If you really think about it, they've got the highs and the lows of villains. Like for me, I think there's nothing more ridiculous than the Rhino. Like this guy just puts on a giant rhino costume and runs around destroying things. Like, who is this guy? This is a real threat. The Rhino.
What, you don't like the Rhino either?
Explain this character to me, the Rhino.
And Rhino
is deadly.
And one of the issues, and one of the Incredible Hulk issues,
Rhinos are vegetarian.
Rhinos are real life unicorns with no hair.
Yeah,
that's what a rhino is. Okay.
You're still not making me scared of it.
You should be. Have you ever remember when Ace Ventura came out of that rhino's butt? You should be scared.
That made me scared.
Mommy.
So there's the ventriloquist and Scarface, or there's just some ridiculousness to worlds of Batman. I think, as much as you've got the Joker and the Green Goblin, you've got definitely some great over-the-top villains as well.
I think, and I agree, Spider-Man has an elite rogues gallery, and I'm trying not to be biased because obviously there's a lot of Batman going on here. I'm a big Batman guy.
I see Spider-Man over your shoulder.
Yes, true. There is Spider-Man representation, so I'm not a total Batman fanboy.
Yeah, careful now.
And by the way, before while I was setting up here, I have a light hanging up here, and it's like it stands up, and I kid you not, dude. As I was setting up, it's a light that's like it goes up maybe 3 or 4 feet high. It just timbered and smashed into this table.
Don't hurt it.
All fell.
Only you, man.
Good thing this didn't happen on camera. Anyway,
every time you pick up a slab, man, I get nervous.
I know, man. It's so bad. I think it's got to go to Batman because one, Spider-Man, the animal gimmick is too heavy-handed.
I fully agree, and I would give it to Batman for that very reason as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, Penguin.
And then the second one, I think the more important one is Batman. I feel like Batman's villains are like almost specifically crafted for him. Like most of Batman's rogues gallery doesn't really work for most other heroes,
Superman's a lot of them big trouble with Two-Face.
Well, like back in the day, though, like Batman, even like in the old like Adam West movies, it was almost more like a comical type of thing, right? Like some of those characters they weren't taken serious. The whole Batman movies weren't taken serious back in the day either, so it kind of fit in a little bit better back then.
You had Adam West, and I don't think that show made you take any of those villains.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't think at some of them didn't start out to be like serious villains.
Yeah,
but I love the point Kenny, that like the animal thing for Spider-Man is really overplayed. Like so many of his early villains.
Scorpion. Well, he's a spider. What do you expect?
But why do the villains all have to be animals? It's like
an animal. He's a Batman
universe. Everybody has to be an animal. Nobody can be anything else.
Man, bat, Catwoman, Penguin. Those are animals, right? There's 3.
And he's a Batman. He's a Batman.
Yeah, all right. He's making a decent case.
Let me tell you this. I think that hands down, Batman has the best villains for DC, and Spider-Man has the best villains for Marvel. Yeah, I don't think there's any question on that.
No, that's why it usually comes down to those two discussions. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, the only character I would say that's even slightly close would be Flash, but there's too many speedsters in his.
Yeah, I mean, they always have to. I think to Kenny's point, I think the villains often are designed to fill some need or some niche with the hero they're going against. And so, obviously, if you have a speedster hero, you're going to have villains that match that. You know, Captain Cold is just trying to slow him down, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of those kind of villains. Although I haven't read enough of Flash to really have a grip of. You know, I know that you had Zoom and Reverse Flash, and that's about all I can think of off the top of my head.
I don't think Batman. Do you guys think Batman has? Because one of the tropes a lot of times for villains is like the bad guy version of our character. Like Flash has the Reverse Flash. Spider-Man has Venom. Superman has Bizarro.
Yeah.
I don't think Batman really has one. I don't know if you'd call Ra's al Ghul really. He's too unique to.
No,
he's more like a ninja in a sense, right?
Yeah, they don't really have a
reverse Batman.
Reverse Batman. Hey, man.
I think that's Man Bat. Wouldn't it? That would be the reverse Batman.
Yeah,
I think that classic idea of the yin and yang villain to hero is, you know, obviously very important. The idea that the hero and the villain, you know, as what does he say in Dark Knight? You complete me.
Yeah.
What would I do without you? You know, that's the Joker. Batman takes everything very seriously. Batman has no sense of humor. Batman is all mental, right? And then you have the Joker who like thinks nothing through. Everything is a complete just calamity and agent of chaos is what he calls himself, right? So that yin and yang, just like you have Lex Luthor and Superman, this being that is all powerful.
Movies sounds
Lex
like
Luger.
Pulling up those movie quotes.
I know my movies. But you have Lex Luthor, who is all brain power and no physical power to match, and then Superman, who is all super power and of course has a big heart and is intelligent. But you know, Lex Luthor is quite the opposite to Superman in that way.
I think he's the worst villain.
Luthor?
You could argue that.
I think Luthor is the worst villain because of his hero that he's up against. Superman is all powerful, he's godlike. And then the villain is just a dude to where if Superman just gets upset once, he's gone. That's it. You know,
yeah, Superman should have killed him a long time ago.
Yeah, you tell him, Jeffrey.
But I think that's the point. I would argue that's the point because Superman will never do that. Superman
He killed Zod. He killed Zod.
And that movie was awesome. Superman.
I would argue that's the whole purpose. That for Superman, you know, he would never destroy that person. He just locks him up again and again and again. So Lex Luthor is playing to that Achilles heel, right? I don't know. But again, I'm not a big Superman fan. You'd have to ask Ryan probably.
He let his dad go up in the tornado. That wasn't nice.
Who's quoting movies now? Who's
It's not a good representation. No, I'm not a big Superman guy either.
So I didn't really have a plan for this. This was very free form. I'm so pumped you guys were free and not doing anything. Not that we're really doing much now. Bueller, I don't know. You and I were talking earlier about bagging and boarding, and now I've been talking with these guys a little bit about size of bags and size of boards. Are you a strict Max Light guy now, or are you using poly bags as well?
I use both. I use both of the regular poly bags and the Max Light. Just whatever I can get my hands on, you know. Because I know that I don't care. Really, I use both. Really, I don't really. I mean, they're both cool.
What are you laughing about, man?
He's always laughing.
He's the giggler, man. If he was
Oh.
a villain,
But like,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's more in the fact of like, oh, here you can have this, and okay, great, thank you, I'll use it. That's kind of
Right.
what it is.
What about you? What about you, Kenny? Do you have a strict policy for how you like to bag and board? What you like to use?
I wouldn't say strict, but like, we're at my little supply station here, so I do have different options for different. The book matters, and sometimes the value of the book matters. So for, let's see, I'm not mindful of brand really when I buy it. So that's for my Silver Age size books, Ultra Pro, Silver Age size boards, and the bags. I think the bags also Ultra Pro maybe. No, what brand are these? Some off-brand Silver Age poly bags. Have you guys ever seen these?
No.
I've never seen those.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's cooking on the Silver Age side. These a huge stack of magazine side bags and boards that I've used twice or 3 times for my Batman
Damned one. And Batman Damned two.
I told my shop guy, like, can you sell me some singles? He's like, sorry, man. I was like,
I like one out of like 2 other boards.
You better hope they don't cancel their black label, right?
yeah, I got like a copy of Marvel graphic novel that also came in handy, but that's about it.
I think I put my X-Men God Loves Man Kills.
Yeah, that whole Marvel graphic novel series. It's good for those. Ultra Pro again.
Big Lion Cat says you get a free bowl of soup with those bags.
Yeah.
Oh, you get those bags free with a bowl of soup.
I think this. I don't know if this is that same. I got a real mixed bag. Southern Hobby Supply is where my
same logo.
I know is where my that's my modern size boards. Then.
And those modern bags you showed, those are the exact same bags I get from my LCS.
Is that right? I think that's where I got those. Ultra Pro dividers for my boxes. And then
You need some dividers.
lastly, for the
I really do like them, but it just makes it so that I'm not flipping through every single book when I want to find one, right?
Yeah.
So I can go right to like, oh, it's not that section. That's the Avengers. Like that's the X-Men. I can like zip to that one section without touching every single book. It just makes my searching faster.
And I want to ask you about that particular topic in one sec. Well, let me show you these MyLights. I bought the wrong ones because these are thinner than the ones I usually used to have. MyLights Plus.
Oh,
But I think I was getting the MyLights 2.
the 2 is what I normally get.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that, man.
I know that's what Legend is always shouting about, and I know that the Max Lights, they have a Max Lights 2, which is their like thicker bag. If I'm not mistaken, Bueller can correct me. He's the representative.
I don't know. I'll tell you this, and this is something I haven't talked about yet. But those guys, they do their thing, and then they also are a distributor for all that stuff as well. So you can go to their other website, which is Columbia Hobby, and they have all the MyLights and all that stuff. And so they do both, really. Or not MyLight, I'm sorry. The MyLights.
Yeah.
The MyLights and stuff. It's on their other website. It's called Columbia Hobby.
Really?
And they are a distributor for that as well. I don't know if my code works on there yet, but it's something we've talked about.
Well, and now you got your box company too, right? There's one of those.
You guys mess with top loader?
The boxes, yeah, the top loaders. Love
Yes.
top loaders.
I got just basically one
Never
hanger
know.
right now, and then some Mylar sleeves. I usually end up with these when I buy wall books from my shop, and I just keep them.
Yeah, that's how what I do too. I got a whole stack of those from the wall books I've got.
But
They got top loaders.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I put the link in the description earlier, but I can do it
And
again.
the link to
if
their
you're looking for
the
it.
link to their website is in my description for the video.
Oh, look at you, John, trying to get a little sponsorship action going on.
I feel like they've sponsored me enough at this point. I don't want them to be like, God dang, we got how many people are we sponsoring?
Yeah, John's code is got kids. Just put
got kids.
You said that earlier.
Everything has to be bulletproof. What was that, Jason?
Who put that in the chat earlier that your discount was?
It was John's comments.
10.1%.
Yeah.
10.1%.
10 yeah, you get 1 extra point of a percent if you go with me.
I got kids. You get 11% off.
Oh man. Yeah, so I just put in another order so that I can get a few of the shorter, I got to get my bags and boards are a little bigger than Bueller's. So
we talked about that offline, and he turned it, and John turned it gross.
What? I would never do that.
I was very uncomfortable. There he goes.
No.
Don't look at me.
I'm gonna put the camera right on him.
No, okay. It's fine.
Now everybody has to watch.
That's fine. But I got a big ass.
I like those big
You
ass.
do have a big ass, brother.
Too much of a pause between.
I wasn't gonna say anything about it. But,
yeah.
you got it, flaunt it, Penny.
Let me turn this down.
Okay, no, we don't want to see it, Kenny.
Yeah, let me give you up close and personal. So those boxes. So all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 short boxes, and I got one more that I need to fill because I'm starting a pile here. But it's not particularly organized. And so you guys, do you just do alphabetized? That's it?
That's all I do. I do not.
I do themes and then alphabetical in those themes.
I have one box full of all my female characters, and then I have all my other books in boxes, but everything's just alphabetized.
So,
no doubt.
Look at the boxes behind me. I have my Avengers box, and then I have 2 Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen boxes, and then Batman.
So are you saying that there's only
bottoms like Justice League?
Are you saying there's only Spider-Gwen books in that Spider-Gwen box?
Spider-Gwen or Spider-Man?
Dude, okay, I have one long box. Most of mine are all short box, but I have one long box, and it's full of my entire S section of comic books. There are so many comic books that start with the letter S. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh!
Comic Tom says he sorts by the color of the comic on the cover.
Yeah, right.
And actually, that one has a bunch of my miscellaneous female Marvel characters are in there as well. So my X-23 books are in there, and some other stuff that I'm not thinking of at the moment.
I've started sorting by barcode number. I find that to be very, very effective.
Probably the easiest thing you could do.
That 12-digit number. Just tell me the number and I'll
I do by the last name of the inker.
The last name of the inker. Oh my god!
No, I do theme boxes. I can't handle it. So I've got this is an Uncanny X-Men box. That's all that's in this box is Uncanny X-Men. Then so I kind of have sections like that. I bought a whole set of the New Avengers by Bendis, so it's got its own box of the New Avengers box. Savage Dragon's got his own box. I've got an indie box for I bought a couple of issues of a Image book 1 or whatever, and I sort of have all those in one box. I have 2 Batman boxes, and then I've got a whole DC box. It's some Justice League, Justice Society, or whatever.
4 Batman boxes.
So New Comic Book Day, right? You go New Comic Book Day. Say you bought a couple of X-Men books and a Batman. So you'll read it, and then you'll file it away in your X-Men box.
That's different. If I've got a pull list book, so Mortal Hulk and Die and Middle West are pull list books, I keep those in the decorative short boxes, like Jake got behind him. So I've got in fact, the only 2 decorative boxes that I bought are the 2 that are behind him on his over his right shoulder. The Avengers and the Spider-Gwen boxes are the 2 that I've got. And I have those. only full of books that I'm still getting regularly.
I got 3 of those.
And when I stop collecting a book, I'll move it into its own bin because then that set is done. It's not going to continue to grow.
Yeah, I have 2 of the Incredible Hulk boxes for my original Incredible Hulk run, and then I have 1 Immortal Hulk box for all my Immortal Hulk books. But everything else just goes in my BCW white boxes.
Yeah. I need to get some of the plastic ones. I only have one for like my high value books that I have separate that are in like a plastic bin. I need to get some of those ones like John got.
John.
I'll tell you real quick. The other day, this is kind of funny because you just said that about that box. I go to the Max Pro guys and I load up a bunch of stuff and Brian follows me out to my van and I open the trunk of my van and there's an empty BCW box in the back of the van and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
It's like being caught with another
one box just sitting there. I use it to carry like my packages, you know, all the things I do.
That's the excuse. You're like, no, baby, I still love you. I just saw BCW on the side. I saw no, baby, it's not real.
We just started dating 2 months ago.
Life.
Good to see Bueller doing John Belushi from Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers, yeah.
There was a flood. I had friends.
Hey, Jeff. Heads up, dude. This morning, I went and did a little hunting. A hunt in mind.
Yeah.
I got some heat sitting right off camera over here, brother.
Oh, you better bring it because even if it's not me, I'll tell you, JD, he comes with some fire. So
he always
watch out for those guys.
I wasn't sure if I was watching The Hunt or What's Your Grail. He busted out a slab.
I don't know what I'm on half the time.
Yeah, crack.
You're live right now, Bueller, just so you know.
Oh, crap. What's this show called? Is this
I don't know what the heck is happening.
Is this Saturday Morning Comics with John and the kids?
Yeah.
The only kids in this room are Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Kenny, I thought it was hysterical. We were on What's Your Grail, and then you're in the chat, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have Kenny on the hunt next week."
He didn't even know.
And I felt like I hung Chad out to dry there. To clarify, he did hit me up after he did that. He was like, "Hey, I put the word in for Tony," and he said, "Yeah, dude, he'd love to have you on." So I'm like, "All right, cool." But then, like, I didn't just want to assume. I was like, I don't know.
Maybe it'll be 2 weeks from now. Maybe it'll be a month from now.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to get like the official invite. So I was waiting in the wing. I'm always ready, brother.
Well, you're on a lot of shows next week because you're on the book club with us next week too.
I'm gonna catch up on some Goon, man.
I have never read Goon ever, so I have
I thought it was about you.
That would be called Jackass.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So those that don't know, book club with Alec and I it'll be on his channel on Wednesday, and we're having Kenny on with us, Comic Head 84, and we're gonna read. Apparently, there's a new run starting of Goon, so it'll be Goon issue number 1.
I was thinking of going into it fresh, but I think I'm gonna at least read like at least 1 trade's worth of Goon. I think
I'm doing nothing. I'm just going blind. I'm running into that wall full speed.
That's what you always do.
Like a true man wolf.
I'm gonna leave a little impression of myself in the wall as I blast through it.
Like one of those old cartoons where they run in the brick wall and just flatten out like a pancake.
Oh, Bueller's got Goon.
Do you know how I got this?
You bought it?
No. So this is what happens. I get this sent to me, okay, by someone. All right. This
Steve.
It might have been. No, I don't think it was. It might have been Steve. But on the back, it's got a sticky note on the back that says, "Comic Tom says it's a good read." That's all it says. It's literally a sticky note on the back that says, "Comic Tom says this is a good read." So that's why I got it. So thanks.
It's got the Tom seal of approval.
Yeah.
Tom.
KomiKhan, seal of approval. I like it.
There you go.
Is that like the Oprah Book Club, the KomiKhan?
Yeah, so I mean, I left it on there. I'm gonna leave it on there forever. It's gonna that little note. There you go.
Should have autographed it.
Yeah, I've got an A-OK idea for Bueller that I'm gonna work on here that I think is gonna be funny as heck. So he's gonna be ready for that.
Send him a jar of pickles.
No, he's already got a ham. I need something to go with the ham.
Well, I ate all his pickles, so you need to send him.
Jeffrey's got a contest coming up here. You know what your contest is going to be about, Jeffrey? Have you figured that out yet?
No. Yeah, a jar of pickles in a Bueller box.
Oh, dude, that's gold right there. That's gold.
Oh,
hey, Comic Tom, he's in the chat. He didn't call me today. I'm a little disappointed. You're breaking our streak, buddy. You didn't call me. Miss you.
All right, gentlemen. I think I'm going to head
out. I think I'm going to log us out here. I think we've been on far too long, but I appreciate this impromptu thing. We got 30 people hanging out, and you guys are all awesome. So definitely check out the channels for these people. If you see anything good, you can sub them up. But this is, you got Comic Head 84 Kenny, Jeffrey KomiKhan Henson, JP Budget Collecting, and this other guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right.
Yo,
thanks everybody for coming. Oh, sorry, Kenny.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I have a secret AOK coming out to someone in the community. I did some John type sleuthing around.
Oh,
nice.
And all I'm gonna say is there's 31 people in this chat right now.
Yeah.
One of the person who I'm sending the AOK to is in this chat. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nice.
You have no idea. Be on the lookout, brother.
We have a 1 in 31 chance.
I'm not even gonna say.
Not you, John. You're not part of it.
I win everything, Jeffrey. Gosh darn it.
You want to know.
I'm not allowed to enter anymore.
So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Keep an eye on your mailboxes, guys.
Yeah, because
that's something coming to one of you.
It's gonna blow up.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for hanging out for a little while. I hope you have a good night. One last thing. Let's see. No, thank you. Oh, good Lord.
I guess I should have read it before I said okay.
Good Lord. Yikes. All right. You guys have a good night, and I'll catch you all later.